What's up, you guys? It's James from James Reptiles. It is currently 7 a.m. on Thanksgiving. It's raining outside. Everyone else is asleep. When I do these videos, I talk kind of loud, so I expect them to wake up as we go. But today, I want to do a video about brumation for my leopard geckos and my fat tail geckos. Talk about how much weight they lose while they're brumating. So currently, they're at 74 degrees. It does drop in the nighttime, so ambient in the room drops to about 63. It is what it is. You know, they can get that low. It's not what I prefer, but electricity is expensive. So I believe I cooled them about a month ago, and I know some of them, there are two specific geckos that were kind of slim, and if I had a choice to not cool those two, I would have not cooled them. But everything's in the same rack, so it all gets cooled, and that's just the way it goes. So I want to do weight updates, and I believe I weighed them before I put them down. I'm going to go check that video so I can get current weights. I can get what was current weights, and I can give you new weights, and I'll give you updates on that. Of course, brumation is when you cool them down. It's almost like hibernation for animals. You stop feeding them, let all their bodies, all the poop go out, all the food gets digested so nothing rots in them, and then you cool them down. So in that period they can't digest because they need the heat to digest, and they basically they slow down, they don't move as much, they hang out for a couple months. When you bring them back up in temperature, you push a lot of food on them and they start breeding. It kicks them into breeding mode, and just like that, you end up with a bunch of baby geckos. So hopefully that happens this year. I bred fat tails the last 2 years. I have a new male that I'm kind of iffy on. He's a little small. He's not super strong. Hopefully I can do leopards this year. I have a black knight male. He's not up to size. I'm kind of hoping he can get with a couple females. If not, I have another male that's really big, but I can't seem to pop his hemipenes. He was in a fight at one point, so I don't know if potentially the other male hurt him in that area or what happened, but hopefully stuff happens, because pest geckos are awesome, but it's always nice to have a variety, especially when I'm at a show and I'm trying to fill out my table. So let's get to weighing those geckos. So I just pulled up the last video, and actually in the last video I was wearing the exact same shirt and the same hat that I wore yesterday. This is the shirt I wore yesterday. I woke up. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to shower, but I don't want to wake anyone up before I did this. I usually upload at 9 o'clock, or I have been. It's been my new goal. So what I'll do is I'll film the night before, have it ready, set to private, set on a timer. Pardon my stomach, I'm hungry. Set it on a timer so it automatically uploads at 9 o'clock. And I mean, my girlfriend Sherry has been sick, so last night I was up taking care of her, driving my sister around, and I just said, we got home and I said, you know what, I don't feel like making my video tonight. It was already kind of late. We wanted to watch a TV show together, eat dinner. So I figured I'd wake up early. Ow, he's biting my finger. You'll see who in a second. So I figured I'd wake up early and get this video out by 9 a.m. and then get another one done at the end of the day or later on in the day. It's Thanksgiving. I'll be home all day. I'll be home alone for a little bit of the day, so that'll give me a chance to really focus on making some content for you guys. So first up, last time he weighed 7 grams. It is egg tooth 6. Well, actually he was on the fence. It was 6 to 7. So, and then next up, I'm gonna do 2 at a time. This guy just bit me. You can see my fingers bleeding a little bit. This is Big Boy. Big Boy weighed 77. 77. So basically, what the point I'm trying to prove is that they really don't lose a lot of weight. A lot of people freak out if you don't feed your animal for months. What's gonna happen especially when they're like leopard geckos, you can put them through months and months without eating, and they're really not going to lose that much weight as long as they're healthy. But what happens is when you cool them down, their stomachs aren't really digesting, and it just kind of slows everything down a lot. So their metabolism is extremely slow, slower than normal, and they're not making poop, and they're not digesting food. They're just kind of stable for a while. And I've seen leopard geckos not eat for 6 months and look perfectly normal. I've seen snakes not eat for a year and look perfectly normal. Alright, so next up we have Malloy. Malloy will be my backup breeder, or the one I was talking about that might be if my Black Knight does not hold up to size. I'm still kind of iffy. There's a chance I might just go buy another normal male, an adult for like $20, and hope that even though he's not cool, he can still do something. And I mean, $20 is a small price to pay. I'd take that chance. It's like a 1 in 4 chance he'd still breed, and at that point, I can make at least another $100 to $200 in the year selling some of those geckos. Oh, let me turn my scale back on. So he was 82 last time. He's 83. I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you. He hasn't had food for 2 months. Next up, we have my patternless whiteout fat tail male. He's currently in shed. Very small, very weak for how old he is. I don't know what happened. I brought him home. He was like this size, and I started fattening him up, and he just never gained the weight. So I believe he was 24, and he's 25 grams now. So I don't know what's up with that, but as soon as he gets out of cooling, I'm definitely going to try to fatten him up, see if he can get the job done this year. If he can't, I'm not upset about it. I mean, next year I'll be producing him anyway. And those are like, if you hit the odds, it's like a 1 in 4 that I'll hit the odds for another patternless whiteout, and it's like a $400 or $500 animal. So selling one of those pays for a lot of stuff, and everything else is pure profit. Let me go grab the next one. So this will be my last male gecko that I'm weighing. And this is by far my most expensive animal I own. It's my Black Knight Eclipse. You can tell it's an Eclipse, the pieballing on the nose and the arms. Yeah, it's absolutely an Eclipse. I almost thought it was a Super Snow at one time, just because of that stripe on the back. But I don't think that it would have been cool. It would have been cool if it was a Super Snow Eclipse. It would have been a Black Knight Galaxy, essentially, because a Galaxy is a Black Knight Eclipse. So this guy was 24 last time. He's 24 this time. You're seeing a pattern here. Nothing's losing weight. Let me go grab lefty and righty real quick. So this is lefty, I believe. Yeah, 63. She was 66 last time, so she did lose a little bit of weight. She lost 3 grams, which is not much. And this girl is 66. She lost 3 grams as well. I'm not even going to say the number that she was before. But these guys are my 2 handicap tug snows. They look just a little bit different. They're not siblings. They're from completely different parents. From the same breeder, but from unrelated parents. So these are my 2 girls. Even though they're each missing a hand, I've seen geckos like that breed before, and I do plan on, hopefully, if I am going to breed, I want to put my Black Knight to these guys. But these are way bigger than him, so I'm kind of worried they might hurt him, so I need to make sure he gets a little bit more size on him first. So last time, Steak Sauce, my original breeder female, it was 43, and Diamond, a gecko I produced this year, was 19. So let's throw them on the scale. 43, and this one, 18. So all my geckos are doing healthy. We're about to come up on one that I am worried about. We're so far into it now, though, that I feel like she's probably just fine, but there's definitely some that you worry about. They go in and they're not super healthy, they're not super big. She just wasn't a good eater to begin with, but I'll show you guys her in just a second. So this is the girl I was talking about. This is Christina. She hasn't been eating too well. I feel like that was because she was getting picked on by the gecko she was with. Will be the next. but I've since separated them into their own boxes. But by the time I did that, it was cooling time. So I'm gonna pull her out of cooling, and I'm not even gonna pair her with anyone. I'm just gonna try to fatten her up, and if I can get her up to size, I might sell her, or I might try to breed her next year. She is a tremper, like a jungle tremper, but nevertheless, I think she was 32 last time, 33. So I mean, something like that can't lose much more weight. I mean, I've seen them lose a lot more weight than that, but and this girl is the one that's picking on her. This is my Blizzard, but nevertheless, she was 42 grams last time, 43. So it's weird how it happens, but that's just I think that's just scale being a little bit off. Alright, so these next geckos I didn't even have very long before cooling. I think I had them for like a week and a half, and my intentions were to sell them. I was offered them for a really good deal, and I figured, you know what, I could just flip them, and they're healthy and all that, and they're a nice little breeding trio, but they're not quite up to size for this year. So my plan was to sell them. It was one of those where I had a couple people say they wanted them, and I go, okay, let's meet, and they go, oh, we'll push it back, and they didn't end up meeting. And I know what you're thinking. You think, oh, we'll never let anyone have them on hold or something like that. And that's not really the way to run a business. If you don't let anyone have them on hold, it's okay to let them hold it for a little bit. And I did do that. I didn't let them push it too far. But nevertheless, I had one guy who kept wanting me to drive super far. I kept telling him no, and he goes, oh, that's fine, we'll just meet closer. But when the day comes up, he goes, well, aren't you sure you can't drive up here? And I said, you know what? You don't want these animals, you're not going to buy these animals unless I drive all the way out there. I'm just not doing that. And actually, I had 2 people do similar things like that with this trio. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep them. I'll raise them for a year, and I'll breed them next year, and I might even buy a different male, because the male is just a normal het bell who was 23 grams last time, 23 grams, and 2 females that reached 24 grams last time that are bell albinos. And basically, 24 grams? 25. So basically, the male is the one that looks normal, and these 2 bell albinos. So him bred to 2 visual bells will produce 50% visual, 50% that are 100% het for bell. And so what that means is all the babies will either be bell or het for bell. I can confirm that 100%. He's also got a little bit of bandit pattern on his nose. I know the dad, I think, was a bandit, and the mom was a bell. And I think they all share the same mom or the same 2 moms or something like that. So I might end up changing him out for, a really nice bell when the time comes. I might try to sell him and get a really nice bell. And then $50 for this breeding project is not bad. $50 for two female bells and a het bell male is a really good deal. But nevertheless, I might change it up a little bit, get some new genetics, get some nicer genetics in there. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Well, this morning's video. I still have to film later on today, and sorry, the gecko where he bit me is bleeding. I still have to film later today for tomorrow's video, which is Black Friday. If I go anywhere for Black Friday, I'll definitely film a little bit and put it in there for you. Like I said, I gotta get to editing. I have till 9, and it is 7:40. I have till 9, have this video all the way done. I'll be cutting it close. It will definitely be cutting it close. It's not like it's the end of the world if it goes up after 9. Personally, I want to be consistent. I think that's going to help out the channel consistency. But nevertheless, I'm James from James Reptiles. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. I post a video every single day with a couple exceptions. And make sure to like, comment. I already did that one. Make sure to hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, jamesreptiles@gmail.com if you have any reptile-related questions or anything like that. Be sure to hit me up. Don't be afraid to ask. If you're a beginner and you don't know something, that's okay. We've all been there. as I get new species, I feel like a beginner. I have to go and ask people, and then I slowly get accustomed to them. Like my crested geckos, I feel like I'm becoming an expert. I've been breeding them for a while now, and I have a lot of them, so I have a lot of experience with them. Nevertheless, if you did enjoy, I hope you enjoy next time too. Bye.